Hey everyone, Budget Nerd here again. Reyee recently pushed their way into the US market, and they sent over their RG-E6 router to review. Let's jump right in. Thanks for checking out the video. Reyee's flagship router, the RG-E6, is what they sent over. Don't worry though, I'm honest in all my videos and my thoughts are my own. This particular one comes in between 160 and 190, depending on the holiday sale you stumble upon. It's a Wi-Fi 6 router aimed at gamers with all its gaming features. It comes with a 64-bit quad-core processor, running at 2 GHz, has a 2.5 gigabit per second WAN and LAN port, which is pretty cool. It has WPA3, which is also great. It has a front-end module for each antenna, allowing for beamforming and other good signal-y things, which apparently allows for 100% improvement in performance. Seriously, people, spell checkers are free. You can aggregate 2 WAN ports or 2 LAN ports, which is nothing I'd use, but it's pretty cool. It has 160 megahertz channel width, which is double the throughput compared to 80 megahertz of bandwidth on less powerful routers. I mentioned it's geared at gaming, has a dedicated gaming port which gives whatever you plug into it priority on the network. You can also optimize the router for certain types of tasks, but I would think it would be pretty hard to see a difference on my network. There's a dedicated Wi-Fi SSID you can enable for gaming as well, but honestly, I'm sure all it does is just give priority to whatever is connected. A lot of routers do give you an option to prioritize clients, and just don't call it a gaming feature. It does have a pretty good signal, with some pretty good coverage on the 5 GHz band. Check it out compared to the Asus RT AXE 7800. Its coverage is noticeably better. I mean, look at these antennas. You get good coverage, but they do make it look, in my opinion, not that attractive. Each antenna does have its own wire, so they're all functional, which is good. I think we're getting used to routers looking more like incapacitated spiders, but this one looks like a Magneton and a Metagross had a child together. Adding other Reyee routers to create a mesh network looks easy, but I didn't test it. It does have options for VPN, which is nice. As far as the speed goes, our internet speed test got a very bizarre low speed the first time, and then got 265 megabits per second or so on the second go, which is not the best, but it's okay. Just to be sure, I tested with another site and got 342, which is great. A local LAN speed test averaged around 65 or so megabytes per second, which is okay, but is outdone by the TP-Link AX3600 hitting 80 megabytes per second, and the TP-Link AX21 hitting 102. Both coming in cheaper than this router, although one is just an access point. So this router is somewhat fast, but is not breaking any records. One thing I was a little skeptical on was its gaming features. I couldn't really find a good way to test it. I've been a casual online gamer for a large part of my life, and I've never had any issues with gaming performance over the internet. I didn't see any difference with this router. This router says it will configure the best NAT type for your console, but I've never had an issue with that in the past either, so I'm not sure it's a major deal here. Honestly, I think your best bet is to just get a good quality router with good speeds, and you're probably fine. I have no proof of this, but if all this router does is prioritize traffic and optimize your NAT type for your consoles, there are a lot of routers that do that. I didn't test the app, but I was a bit surprised I was being told I needed to enable some features like Console Booster, Why can't I turn on one of the router's flagship features in a browser? I tested for streaming wireless PC VR on my Oculus Quest 3, and it worked. Except for my son and I did have most rounds of breachers get all glitchy on us. We couldn't reload or grab or put away our guns, and our hands wouldn't follow us around if we moved. We had to restart the match to get it to work, and it would always come back. We switched to our previous router, and the issue went away. I reached out to Reyee about this, and they gave me a suggestion. But after power cycling the router, the issue went away, and after a few gaming sessions, we still haven't seen that issue again. Streaming games to my Steam Deck from my PC in the garage was something I had to try, and it worked great, without any issues. One thing I do like is the web GUI. Once logged in, I think it looks nice. There's lots of information here, and it's laid out well. I like the colors, and they have it divided up well with the menu here at the top. If you're a super nerd, you'll just go straight to more. You get your typical settings in here, with some of the highlights being checking out and controlling connected clients, settings for the dedicated gaming Wi-Fi, LAN settings, DHCP settings, setting static IPs, enabling Wi-Fi to segregate IoT devices, blacklisting or whitelisting devices, settings for the radios, settings to change the router mode to have it operate as an access point or repeater, enabling OpenVPN, setting up Reyee Mesh, which lets you easily add more Reyee routers or other products to create a Wi-Fi mesh network, settings for link aggregation, and your typical diagnostics and system tools and options. One thing I think is a must these days is parental controls, which I don't really see those on here, which is unfortunate and a bit of a negative for me at least. In the end, there are things to like about this router. The features you get for the money you lose seems to fit well. As mentioned, there are no parental controls, but you do get some respectable speeds, and could likely get better speeds with 2.5 gigabit per second hardware, and you get some port aggregation options. However, gaming, which is its whole shtick, is taking on some new meanings these days, with wireless game streaming becoming more of a thing. This router would be plenty if you're more of a traditional gamer. If you stream your games or do wireless PC VR, this one will do that. Aside from that one glitch we couldn't reproduce, it did work just fine. However, you could get lower latency and less compression, resulting in a better image with a Wi-Fi 6E or Wi-Fi 7 router. Well, if this router floats your boat, you can snatch one up using the link below. If you're a die-hard wireless streaming type of gamer, you'd likely want a Wi-Fi 7 router. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.